Hey everybody, Temple Crazed here. So, I decided to do a little bit more of magic stuff. We're gonna do a little more nicodate on some beefaloes, or buffaloes if that's what you prefer. So, I do have a fun one here that I've been playing with. I got this one here, let me pop it up on the screen for you. This one here, definitely can see that it's got some, let's say, issues. It is a 1916, which is actually a pretty darn good date. So, but what I've been doing here, because it's just, I mean, there's just nothing else you can do about this thing. It's really screwed up, right? So I've been kind of just throwing a whole bunch of nicodate on it because it's kind of cool. What happens here? I really wish this stuff would spread a little bit easier. And then when I want it to spread, it won't spread now. And when I don't want it to spread, it spreads everywhere. Alright, good enough. So, it's cool because, like, it may not do it now. I don't know. Earlier when I was doing this, there was literally, like, bubbles coming up as the stuff was being eaten away. Like the little particles of stuff or whatever. But you can see them particles moving in there, too, when I move this thing. See if we can just kind of pull that liquid around a little bit. Maybe we can kind of... I'd like to clean this coin up, I would, but I mean, it just... I think it's just too far gone. But yeah, you can see that date right there, 1916. So, alright, let me pull this out of here. Don't do what I'm doing. Wear gloves. I have stuff around me to... I just don't have my gloves with me, but... get the ferric acid off, or ferric stuff off of... ferric chloride off of there. Yeah, that's what it is. But you can see it's a 1916. But she's in rough shape. Seen better days. I might be able to get it to bubble on the backside, because it was the green stuff, like, that was bubbling. Let's see if we can get that to go. I mean, if we're going to do it, we might as well do the whole thing. That way the acid etch all looks uniform, right? So, are we going to get some bubbling today? Probably not, because I did this. Oh, we got some. We got a little bit happening. Right there was a little bit. Right in here. Got a little bit right there. You can kind of see it bubbling a little there. So this is nicodate. I'm not using it correctly at this point, so don't do what I'm doing. Unless, of course, you have a coin that looks like this and you just want to mess around, I guess. Also, make sure you're wearing gloves. It says this is ferric chloride. Avoid contact with eyes or prolonged contact with skin. That's why I'm not too worried about it on my hands. It does turn your hands kind of a interesting color. First aid, internal. Give 1 to 2 glasses of milk or water. Call physician immediately. External, flush with water eyes. Flush thoroughly with water. Get medical attention immediately. Huh, good stuff, right? Alright, well, let's see what this side now looks like. So, ferric chloride, what are we doing here? What we're doing is we're actually pretty much acid etching is what we're doing. So that's why I say this Buffalo's junk anyway. I mean, it is a better date, 1916. Um, if it was the double die, or if it was the double die obverse, then we'd be talking a $5,000 coin in G4. So I wouldn't be screwing around this much. Otherwise, it's just to the G4. It's $6.50. So I'm not overly concerned about it. In this condition, it's worth about, well, turn it in for a new nickel at the bank. That's about what it's worth. I'll probably just give it to somebody that needs a book filler or something. But I do have a bunch of other nickels that are in good shape. Well, not good shape. They're dateless nickels, but they don't look like that, is what I'm saying. So, let's see, what do we got here? Well, we got no date. That's what we got. Don't have a mint mark, so we don't need to try to work on the reverse of this at all. I mean, I see something of a date down there, but not enough to say that we have a date. So let's just drop some of that on there. And I'm doing this under the scope for one particular reason. It's really cool. You can actually see stuff, you can see it changing. That's my biggest reason I'm doing it under the scope. You can see the as we get closer to actually seeing a date, which I don't know if we're going to see a date on this. I'm looking, not seeing. We'll let her go for a little bit here. And I'm not going to make you wait through every single one of them. I'll pause the recording off and on so that you don't have to wait. Let me pull this out. So I haven't done it with these ones, but I was doing a little bit of work here, a little experimenting on my own. Yeah, we're not going to probably get the date on this sucker. Oh, I see it. It's there. It's right there. It's tough to see. It's a, let's see. I think it's a 1919. Is that coming through at all there? Maybe. I'm trying to move the lights around because that sometimes helps if you can get the lights in the right spot, like shining across it. That's not it. There's this scratch just above the date, and that's really obscuring things here on me. I don't know. Probably not going to get it. It is a 1919. I can see it. It's just, well, now I've really done it. I got my light all over the place and can't see anything now. Damn it. Well, anyway, it's a 1919. What I was going to say is something I did find that does help a little bit is to dip it in a little bit of rubbing alcohol before you start, and then just dab that off, because the rubbing alcohol will actually remove some of the oils and stuff that are on the coin. So this we do have a date. Okay, it's a 34. Well, we know 34s aren't really worth a heck of a lot anyway, so let's see about raising that date up a little better. Look at it. You can see it coming out even better. So yeah, just a little bit of rubbing alcohol on there, dab it on there, dab it off, kind of thing. It helps remove the oils that are on the coin, and then when you go to put the nickel on there, it seems to work way better. So anyway, now you can really see that date, 1934. But as I was just saying, a 1934 is worth about $1 anyway, so it's just not really worth the money. Again, probably another like giveaway to somebody or whatever. Throw it in somebody's bag. Okay, so this one has an obliterated date, so no mint mark. I did have some that I did earlier that had mint marks on them, and most of them came out all right. Trying to do a nice one that's got an obliterated date like this that we can actually see the date coming through, and I see it on this one. I can actually see that date coming. I'm going to try to move this stuff a little bit. It's a 1917. We can see that. I think you guys can see that too. Let me just move the screen here. There you go. 1917. It was obliterated. There was nothing there. And now we have a date. And I'm using the rubbing alcohol afterwards too to kind of help neutralize the stuff. But there you go. 1917 right there. What's a 1917? $8 in a G4, 51 million minted. Too bad it wasn't a 17D, then we'd been talking a little bit better. But I don't see anything back there. So, there you have it. What's next? What's next? Well, that's a 27. But, yeah. Let's see if we can make the date better. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I didn't pay a whole ton for these, so I'm not too worried about the date stuff. In fact, I probably do like I did before. I'll just throw all of them into a little container and sell them as a lot of recovered or refurbished or whatever you want to call it, liquidated coins. I mean, the way I look at it, they're not worth a whole lot if you don't know what the date is anyway. So, there you go. 1927. Much easier to see the date now. Some people are going to disagree with me on this, and that's okay. That's part of, what we do, right? We disagree. We can agree. We can agree to disagree, even, right? So, sorry, I'm just grabbing some more paper towels because that's what I'm using here. I got a paper towel laid out in front of the scope, and I'm just using that to wipe off the stuff. The ferrochloride, I think is what it is. I don't know. I got some on my table. Oh well. Little rum and alcohol, take that up. No problem. I can tell I got it on my table when I have it on my table. My table's white. So, okay, next one. We dip in the alcohol just a little bit, just to get like I say, get the any of the oils off of it. 1920, I don't know, 3 or 5, I can't tell. Let's find out. Definitely a 3. Definitely a 3. Look at that. Is it definitely a 3? Maybe it's a 5. Well, now I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a 3. Yeah, 1923. You can see what it's doing there. It's actually acid etching the coin a bit. It's really, really cool. There you go. Wipe it off. And I am wiping these off afterwards. I'm not overly concerned. Like I say, 1923, no mint mark, worth about $1 in good condition. So, oh, there we go. Oh, this one I think somebody tried to acid etch. It looks like. It looks like somebody actually tried to acid etch this and didn't get it. Let's see if we can. Maybe they didn't leave it on long enough, or didn't know what they were doing. Because we're getting a date right there. I can see it coming through. Or maybe they didn't use the proper stuff. I don't know. But I see a date, 1919 it looks like. Or 18. I think it's 1919. That's what it looks like to me anyway. It's got a lamination too. Right there. Little delaminating going on. Alright, that should be long enough. And I've had the question, well, how do you know how long? Well, I don't. It's the answer to that. Um, I use my scope to do it. There you go, 1919. I use my scope when I do this stuff, so I can watch the date come through. So if I don't see a date, I would say after like 30 seconds, I pretty much know it's not going to work. Oh, I suppose you want to know about a 1919. All right. 1919, 60 million, $3. And I'm just going to quote G4 prices because, I mean, basically, for the most part, when I sell these coins on, a lot of times what I'll do is if it's a good one, like a good dated one or whatever, what I do is I sell them for about 50% of what the G4 date is, or price is, or even less than that. So I have one over here that's like a $23 coin in G4, and so that one I'll try to sell for like $10, because it's a good book filler still for somebody, right? I think this is another 19. Kind of looks like a circle here and a down, just like that. One there. A lot of 19s, huh? I'm hoping we find some Type 1s. Type 1 reverse coins. I mean, I was going to do this without, like, just, it's tough, but it's a 19. No mint mark. I was going to do, like I was saying, I was going to pause stuff, or pause my recording and stuff, but really these have been going pretty quick, so I don't think that's necessary so much. 27. I mean, sometimes these dates will pop just boom right now. I like to let them go a little bit longer though, because I want to see if I can get a little definition on that date. Now I was asked, do you think it would be better to do the whole coin instead, because then you'd have a consistency across the whole coin over just doing just the date? And I don't think that would be a better way to do it, honestly, but I don't know, I guess we can try it. This is just a 27. We could do it on this. I mean, I don't see any reason that this one would be worth anything more than what a 27 would be, so give me a second here to just try to get her covered up. Like I say, I don't think there'd be a reason to do this. It's not going to change the value of it at all, because I mean it is what it is. It's been liquidated. I mean, people who know it, they know kind of a thing. It's like, if you know, you know. So not going to really change the value at all. It's already, it's very, if you know what you're looking at, it's not like you're going to trick somebody. I mean, you could, I suppose, if they don't know what they're looking at or looking for, but that's not what we're in the business to do, right? We're in the business to not trick people, to give people what they actually want. I'm kind of rubbing around on this thing. I'm just trying to see if I can get some of these marks to come up. Just, these are the experiments that we do, right? Alright, let's move this thing out of here. I'm going to clean my fingers off in the alcohol, because I really put them in that time. Alright, now I'm going to clean the nickel off in the alcohol. to help neutralize the stuff. Alright, well, let's look at it. See? I mean, yeah, you do get more of a consistency across the nickel, but, I mean, compared to, say, this one, you can definitely tell. Alright. You can definitely tell. So, but it was still a fun experiment, huh? And even if we flip it over, you can definitely tell the one side just something doesn't seem quite right. So, anyway. Well, that's a 29, and I'm not even going to bother. I want ones that we can't read. There we go. Like one that we cannot read the date on. Ooh. And this, I think, is a type 1. So, let's see if we can pull the date. Might be difficult. This is definitely got some wear on it. I see something coming through. Just barely. I think it might be the... Well, I mean, if it's a type 1, it's a 1913. I mean, that's all there is to it, because that was the only year they made the type 1, was 1913. The 1913 Denver, San Francisco, and Philadelphia. I have the Denver and the Philadelphia. I am looking to buy a San Francisco, but I don't want any old San Francisco. I want a, I want full horn. I want a nicer one, let's say. Yeah, so there it is, 13. I can just barely read it. Let's see if we have a mint mark. I just kind of covered the whole area. Getting a bunch of ferric chloride on my stand here. I want to clean up. I mean, it is a type 1. I can tell you that right now. I am not seeing a mint mark coming through, though. So, the difference between a type 1 and a type 2, if you were curious, the type 1s, well, they changed it, because the type 1 that, like this is, the 5 cent on the reverse here was getting wore off very quickly. The bison was like on a mound, like this is, and it wore down very quickly, and so they changed it in 1913 to a type 2, which has the straight line across there, which kept it from getting worn off so easily. So let's just go like this. I just see 5 cent. I do not see a mint mark, but so that's a 1913 Philly. So this is the type 2 reverse. So just so you know the difference, if you were wondering. I'm going to clean my table here real quick with some ISO just to get the acid, the chloride stuff off, the ferric chloride off, which reacts as like an acid to the, I think it's, I don't know, I should look it up someday what it actually is. Oh, what do we got? I can't really read that. No mint mark, so we are in a type 2, because we can see the line there. I don't know how many I'm going to do. I'm kind of watching the time here and stuff, and I know a lot of people like these things, like these experiments, and trust me, I do too. I do them quite often on my own. Looks like we got another 16. There, like I've said before, though, something I would change about the Nicodate thing is how the dropper works, because it's such a big. I mean, look at this. I didn't need that much stuff covering it, but the drop is huge. So, but yes, set it or just quick dunk in, oops, in alcohol, rubbing alcohol before you start. Just pulls that. Let me get another lamination right there. 1916, but it just gets those oils off of there, and that way it seems to work better. No date, type 2. So we put it in the alcohol, pull it out, give her a little wipe down here. Watch the alcohol dissolve off of my off the table. Alright. And then, I mean, literally that's literally all you need. Of course, I got a little drop a little higher up there, but wow, something different. 1917. Look at that. I'm liking using the little. It's called a spudger, is what the little black pointy thing is. You can get them on Amazon there for electronics work, but it's not going to react to the ferric chloride at all. So I like using that just to, move the stuff around a little bit. And it also seems to work really nice just to help push it along. I mean, I seem to get better results sometimes with it that way. Okay, into the alcohol. Wipe it off. Under the scope. And there you have it, 1917. Now this thing's got a huge, I'm pretty sure, scratch across there. No mint mark. Mintage on it is 17.51 million, $8 and a G4. So I'd probably sell this for like $2 to $3 if somebody needed it, just as a book filler. I mean, that's all they're really there for. Again, can't read that. It's a type 2. I mean, I've heard of people using this stuff and finding like those rare ones, like the double die Avers and stuff like that. So, and getting good money for them. There's like you can get the there's a 4/3 in the 1914. There's the double die 16, and there's in the 18 Denver, I mean, there's an 8/7. So those specific coins, I mean, of course, to the 35, there's the double die reverse. 36 Denver has the 3.5 legged. The 37 Denver is a 3-leg. And the 38 Denver, there's a D/S. So, if you get those, I mean, even though but for like the doubling and stuff like that, and the overs and this and that and stuff, they still can be worth good money. I read of somebody that got the 16/16 on theirs, and still got like $2,000 for it or something like that. It was just insane. But it's a rare coin, so type 2. That's why I buy these too, because people don't know what the date is. So then we go ahead and we nicodate them, find out the date, and then if we find one of those varieties, we can be in the money. Even though it's been nicodated, it's still got value then. 1918, plain as day. That's pretty easy to see on that one. Just kind of tap, 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 tap. Just kind of moves that stuff around a little bit. I think it just works a little better then. Oops, just wiped it off on my table. Good job. 1918. Pretty easy to see that. Plus, we want to see if we find, like, so if this feather right here is missing, then you'll end up with the 2 feather. Well, people want to see what date that is then, which can add value too. Did we have an 18 before? I don't remember. 18. And it's definitely not the 8/7, because that's in an 18 Denver. 32 million, $6. Beautiful. I gotta clean up my hands a little bit. I got ferrochloride everywhere. My hands are turning colors. Or at least my left hand is. This is what it does when I wipe it off. This is what it looks like. Just, yeah. And that's what my hand is turning. Oh, well. Well, that's a 20 for sure. Got some weird greenish stuff over there. This might be a good case subject for the other stuff. Ugh. This stuff here is called Coin Cleaner. It's by the same company. It's by the same company. And this stuff has like sodium bisulfite, oxalic acid, some detergents in it, and thoria. Thioria? Yeah, that stuff. So it's supposed to be, do not use it on your pennies. We've discussed this before. Just trying to see if we can clean up whatever the heck this stuff is. Just kind of give her a little, I can feel it's lifting. The stuff under there. And I'm not I'm not like jamming this thing in there. I'm just lightly just floating over the tops here, trying to clean it up a little bit. Okay. Little dunk in some stuff over there. Yep. Well, I mean, it took some of the stuff off. Still a little bit left. It's like a wax. Oh, weird. Weird. Anyway, that's a 20. Nothing special. I mean, 63 million, $2. Yeah, nothing special. That's a, what is that? A 20 something, I think. I don't know. I can't quite make it out. So, I guess that's where we use this stuff. 26, 28, 26, I think. Yep. Looks like a 26. Yeah, 1926. No mint mark. Again, not a better date or anything. 44 million, $1.25. So, you know, that would go into like a lot of a bunch of them, pretty much. 1920 something. $1921, I think. Looks like a 21 to me. Cool. I like finding older dates. some of the teens and stuff. There you go. 1921. The one's really tough to see. Again, a 21. 10 million, $5. So, I think that's a 16. I think. Again, tough to see. Oops. I'm going to tell you one thing with the if you get the coin cleaner, by the same company, leave the cap just a little bit loose on it because for some reason that stuff builds pressure. And I was sitting here one night and also I hear this tss, 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 tss noise. I'm like, what the heck? Find out it's that thing about to explode. That bottle was about to explode on me. I was like, what the? So, just to forewarn you, it's definitely worth leaving the cap just a little loose. You know, put it somewhere safe. Yeah, that's a 16. Put it somewhere safe so, you know, the kids don't get into it if you got little kids or animals or whatever, but yeah. Alright. Another obliterated date. Oh, and some other people have asked me if this would work on other nickels or other coins in general, and I've used it on shield nickels. So it will work on shield nickels. It does not work on silver, like some people have said in the past. It does not. Doesn't work on pennies. It turns them a funk color. So I don't think it would work on like dimes. Because again, that's, you know, if we're talking stuff that needs dates recovered, you're talking silver. It's just the reaction that the ferric chloride has with the materials in the nickel. So, looks like we got another 1918 showing up. Another 1918 it looks like. They say to rinse it in water. I don't have any water with me right now, so I'm just utilizing I wipe it off and then so I'm using the rubbing alcohol to dip it before and then dip it after. Is that an 18? It could be a 16. I think it's an 18. I don't know. One of the two. It's still nothing of value to me. I mean, we're adding value, yes, because there's, with no date, there's no value, obviously, right? And we've been going for over half an hour now. I don't know. I'll keep going. It's pretty quick. It's not like we stop really or anything. I might add some music in the background. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see here. Just trying to help it along here. I'm not pushing. Looks like we got a 14 maybe? Yeah. Again, I'm not pushing. I'm just moving the material. Agitating. There we go. I'm agitating the material around. Yep, we got a 14. There you go. Rinse it in some alcohol. 1914, we did not have a mint mark. No. I know a 14 Denver's a nicer one. 1914, I mean, it's still a $20 coin in G4. Only 20 million of them. So, you know, I mean, still could be considered like a $5 to $8 coin right there. Some people won't buy them, and that's fine too. If people are like, no, I won't buy it because given it, you're doing damage. Yep, there's a type 1. So this is gonna be a 13. You're literally damaging the coin doing this, right? So some people are like, nope, don't want anything to do with it, and that's fine. I personally want to know what dates I have, and this one I would know without even doing this. But I kind of want to know what date I have and what mint mark I have and stuff, because if it's something that's actually valuable, you need to know, right? It's not like we're gonna do the whole to take a penny analogy. We're not gonna throw it into a roll. You know, the pennies people throw like a 1909 VDB, Philadelphia VDB in, but they put it backwards, so all you can see is the VDB part. And then they'll say, oh, it could be a San Francisco, blah, 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 whatever. Well, the chances that it's a 1909 San Francisco VDB, I forget what they said. It's like 1 in some billion number, trillion number, or something like that. That it would be an ender and this and that and stuff, so. Well, I don't think we're going to recover that date off the obverse of this thing. But like I say, I do know what the date is. Yeah, she's pretty bad. Oh, you can just see her poking through. 13 there. All right, let's see if we can see if there's a if there's any mint mark on the reverse. But like I say, I know it's a 13 because this is the type 2 reverse, or type 1 reverse, So let's see if we can find a mint mark. Just because, like I say, the San Francisco of this is actually really is less common. There's only a couple million, I think, of it. Yeah, 2.1 million of the San Francisco Type 1. So, agitated. I'm making it mad. I'm agitating it. Well, I just got done with my Whatnot show before I started this. Didn't go the greatest. I don't know. I do this Wheat Penny Wednesday show. It's kind of a staple. I've been doing it for a while now. Well, basically since I started Whatnot. And that's why I haven't stopped doing it, but I don't know. I'm not selling as many Wheat Pennies anymore. Most of the people that come into my stream have bought those Wheat Pennies already from me that they needed, or they're looking for the key dates, which I don't have usually. Yeah, I don't see a mint mark. So it's just a 13 Philly. Okay, this is a type 2. Yeah, I don't have, like, the key dates. I have semi-keys sometimes. But yeah, like I say, I'm not getting the people coming in as much anymore and stuff that are looking for all the other coins because, well, they've pretty much bought them all from me. So I'm kind of trying to switch up what I'm selling, and I don't know, doesn't seem to be working so good for me. So I might go back to selling more on eBay again. Right now my eBay account is full of a bunch of watches that I've fixed recently or whatever. I am really not seeing a date. Very odd. I'm seeing stuff, but I'm not seeing a date really. Get up there. I want you up there. Over there. Alright, well now it's too dark to see anything. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, is that a 13? Kind of looks like it. A 13 type 2? $12 coin? Yeah, that's a 13. No mint mark, but that is a 13. I wonder if we can clear that up a little bit more. It took a long time to get to that point. But yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I'm just... So right now, I am touching the coin. I'm trying to kind of... well, I'm using the material, or the end of the thing here to get the ferrochloride down into there, and kind of I'm pulling the pieces away so that we're kind of bringing that date up a little easier, or a little better, I should say. So there you go, 1913, Type 2, Philadelphia, $12 coin. So probably worth, I don't know, $5 in that condition. 20 something. 26, 28, I don't know. Should come up pretty easy, the date on this. Shouldn't need too much. I'll just use the spudger here to push the stuff where I need it. I think it's a 26. Either way, it's not like it's a hard to get date, basically. Now that one I didn't dump in the alcohol before I started, and you see how it was, like, the stuff was flowing kind of weird? That's what I'm talking about. When you don't put it in the alcohol first, it the ferrochloride doesn't, it floats on top almost, like oil and water kind of thing. That's a 34. I dumped it in the alcohol for no reason, apparently. All right, we got more. I don't know how many more we'll do, but we do have more. All right, Type 2. Let's alcohol it. Wipe the alcohol off. We're not looking to water down the stuff, you know. Just looking to get it on there, and just need a little. See how that I can actually push it to where I want it now? It's not coming all back. 1918. And that's what the alcohol does. It allows you to kind of, if you don't use the alcohol first, it's like an oil, and you're putting that right on top of that skin from, or the oil from people's skin, and it just kind of floats there. And it takes longer, and it doesn't work as well. So if you use the alcohol first, I suggest as high a percentage of alcohol as you can get. Unfortunately, my stores around me were out of the really high percentage stuff. So this is 70%. I can get 99.9% from my dad. He owns a print shop, so I can get it from him. I just haven't yet. But there you go, 1918. That came through really nice. And again, no mint mark. So I'm going to clean up the base here of my stand again, just because I'm getting little droplets of the ferrochloride on there, and I'd like there to not be them on there. So clean that up, get some more paper towels. So yeah, I can just go over to his shop though and ask for some stuff. Let's see, no date, no mint mark. Clean up the coin a bit. Dry it just a little bit. Alright. I don't know, this is kind of my new favorite thing is to buy, and you could buy these cheap. That's the thing is, I mean, you could buy a roll of these. I bought this roll for, I think, $8 or something like that. A whole roll. 1928. You know, you can buy these rolls really cheap, and again, I would recommend you wear gloves. Don't be an idiot like me. There you go, 1928, plain as day. Of course, no mint mark. It's not an expensive coin. You know, I mean, none of these really are. But it's fun. You know, do this with the kids or something. Obviously, keep the kids away, you know, back from the fair. Make them wear gloves too, that kind of stuff, right? But it's literally, it's like magic, you know? Get in there, and I do recommend getting the spudger, though. It seems to help quite a bit. This is a 15. We haven't had one of those yet. And I'm just teasing the coin, barely touching it. Just enough to... Basically, I'm using the spudger. See, when I bring it up, you see how dark that is? I'm using the spudger to help pull the little particles that are coming off of the coin away so that the ferric can get down in there even better. But yeah, there's a 15 right there. So 1915, 20 million, $7 coin. In a G4, obviously. There you go. Nothing. Ooh, we have a mint mark. I think that's a Denver. Let's get the mint mark first. We have a mint mark. Come on. I don't want to go too far and lose the mint mark, you know. It's not a Denver. That actually look. Oh yeah, there it is. It is a Denver right there. That's a D. Yeah, that's a D. All right, now we got a mint mark. Well, let's figure out what. And it's a type 2 or variation 2, variety 2, whatever you want to call it. So now let's figure out what it actually is, date-wise. Oops, let's get it to where we can see. 24 maybe? Kind of looks like a 1924. That line right, or that cut right there, it's really helping keep the ferric chloride where I want it a little bit better. Kind of like it. Okay, let's give her a look. See. Pretty sure that's a 24. Let's do a little more on there. It's better to stop and do a little bit more if you have to than to go too far, right? Yeah, that's a 24. Tough to see, but it is. It's a 1924 Denver. Alright, well, let's look at our book. 1924 Denver, only 5 million, or 5.2 million. G4, it's a $10 coin. And being that it's a 24 Denver and there was only 5 million, somebody might need this for their collection, for their book, and you may actually get that $10 out of it. You may get more than that. Well, if this had a mint mark, it's definitely obscured. Obscured. I mean, I've seen ones that are, recovered dates sell for decent money if it's something that's a little bit harder to find. I believe this is a 1925, it looks like. I mean, that's a 5 for sure. Yeah, it looks like 1925. And a 1925 is not worth much. 35 million, $3. Not really worth a whole lot. Yeah, that's a 25. That's a, I don't know. That's a, I don't know. I can't really tell. So we'll get a little dot on there. I mean, this is about how much you need, really. And then if you use that spudger to kind of push around. Again, I didn't dip this one in the alcohol. I keep forgetting. Because it's just something new that I just learned here. Like self-taught learned. Nobody taught me it. I was experimentating. That's really cool. I can basically pull the stuff all into one spot and then poof. Boop. 1919, I think. I don't know. Let's try again. A little more. Yeah, that's a little too much more. But, whatever. 1919, yeah. We've had a few of those, haven't we? I'm having too much fun to stop. So if you guys don't want to watch the rest of this video, I'll understand. How about we say that? I mean, it's just going to be more of the same. I'm having fun experimenting, and if I'm going to be experimenting, I guess I could just as well have it up on the screen for you to watch if you want, I'm not going to look forward to editing it, but... Alright, so this is a Type 2. Pretty worn. What do we got here? $19.20. 1920. 63 million. Couple bucks. Not really worth it. Again, this one, I did dip it in the rubbing alcohol before we started, and like I said, it just seems to work way better when you do that. Yep, 1920. Don't see any remnants of what it might have been a mint mark, so I'm not even going to try to see if I can get a mint mark, because I don't see remnants of there being a mint mark. So, and I'm just throwing these all into a big old pile here, so that's got a mint mark right there. Kind of looks like maybe an S. Yeah, I think that's an S. I don't want to go too far. I don't want to lose the mint mark. Boat went too far on that last one. Yep, that's an S. I'll call that good enough. And I kind of forgot to dip this one in the, dunk this one here in the alcohol. I like to show it and then dunk it, and I'm not doing that. So we got nothing there. Do have the S back here. Tough to see, but it is there. So let's find out what this is. So we do have a San Francisco. $15 maybe? It's kind of what it's looking like, huh? Looks like a 1915 San Francisco is what it's looking like to me. 1915 San Francisco, holy snaky. Only 1.5 million of those minted. And in a G4? In a G4, we're talking a $50 coin. A $50 coin. Oh boy. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what makes, for me, makes it worthwhile. I mean, sure, we did a date recovery on it. That is a 1915. 100%. And that is an S. 100%. So this has a date recovery on it and a mint mark recovery. This is a $50 coin in a G4. So, I mean, this could sell for $50+, even with the mint mark being restored, because it's only 1.5 million of these. So even with a restored mint mark, yeah, it's probably only a G4, but okay, that one's going to go to a different place. I'm not putting that in with all the other ones. Alright, this time I dunked it in the alcohol before we're going to show it even. The next one here. That's a 1920. Well, son of a gun. Didn't really need to dunk that one, did I? How about this one? Okay, that one's obliterated. We'll dunk that one. That's why I do it, though. That 15 San Francisco. That's why I do this. That's why I buy these coins. And I've told people, like, I think that's a 20 also. I've told people online if they got them, you know, on, like, Whatnot streams, let me know. I enjoy buying them. I am one of the few people that will liquidate them. A lot of people don't like to do this, you know, because I mean, Rob finds treasure. He does. He does it. But a lot of people don't, because it does just, you know, you're damaging the coin. You literally are damaging the coin, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You are damaging the coin. You're putting basically an acid on there, pH level of an acid on there, and you're letting it eat away at the coin, right? I just put my finger in the stuff. Great. So, I mean, there's no sugarcoating it, right? Yeah, 1920. I think that's a 25. Sure looks like it. Not going to bother. Well, that's a 1926. That one's actually pretty nice. The roll that I bought did say that it was dateless, and there was also, like, it could be dateless, or like the dates could be little, like, worse shape basically. Let's just see if there's any mint mark back here. I don't think there is, but you know, we can just kind of give a little test see before we move forward. Yep, my hands are officially orangey colored. I don't see anything popping out. Alright. There, well, that's a little bit much. Oh well. And again, I recommend you get one of these. It's called a spudger. if you're going to be doing this kind of stuff. I also recommend that you buy like a roll of, like I say, like, so if you have, like, say a shield nickel and you're wondering what the date is because it's obscured, I'd recommend that you buy a bunch of dateless buffalo nickels first because they're not worth as much before you go playing with your maybe possibly expensive shield nickel. It also works on V nickels, but I have not ever had a V nickel that I couldn't read the date on. So there's that. Um, Basically, any nickel, it will work on it. Is that a 28 or something? I don't know. Let's try a little more. 26 maybe? It's definitely a 20 something. Now, obviously, I'm not a professional. This is just a hobby for me. Um, well, for now anyway. I am currently seeking investors to go in on a coin shop with me in my city. It might be a 26. I don't know. Really tough to tell, but anyway, it's not worth the headache to try to find it, figure it out. But yes, I mean, if anybody out there is interested in making a investment in a coin shop, I am currently seeking investors in it. Preferably silent partners, but that can all be worked out in the wash, right? The way my brother-in-law and I had talked about setting it up if we were going to do something together. Right now he can't, but would just be that I would pay a percentage to him each month, a set percentage of the profits each month. So if the business were to profit, say we set that at like 8% or whatever, and the business were to do profit $1,000 or whatever, so you need to get 8% of that as your investment back for 5 years or until the amount's paid off, and at the end of the 5 years, the whatever we decided. So you'll give me $50,000. In 5 years, that would mature into, say, what's 8% of 50,000? I can't even think right now. We could say even 10%. 10% of 50,000 is $5,000. So, say in 5 years, it's supposed to become $55,000. Well, if I haven't reached that amount, then it's due. Whatever's left is due at that time. So another 1919, very popular one. So again, if anybody is interested, I think 50,000's probably. Well, I mean, I could do it for a lot less, but honestly, I think 50,000 is actually a pretty good number, just because then I can really buy up some nice stuff. Plus, I'd have the money to go to some shows in different areas and stuff like that, and buy up some nice stuff for the shop. And I think in my area, I mean, Fargo is a pretty good sized area. The whole metro area. let's see. Fargo's population's 100 and well in 2021 was 126,000. But then we also have West West Fargo, where I actually live, is another 40,000, and then we have Moorhead across the river, Moorhead, Minnesota, is another 44,000, and we have a few small communities outside of that. So, I mean, there is over 250,000 people, in the area. So I think, and then we have Grand Forks north of us here. I think a good shop here in town would do wonders. We have 2 shops in town right now. One has been here a while, but they're kind of I don't know, they like to take advantage of people. So there's a 17. I think we had one of them earlier, didn't we? 51,000 or 51 million, $8. The other shop is they do baseball, football, basketball cards too, and so they mostly focus on that. So they don't carry a whole lot of coins anymore, and the coins they do carry are stupid pricing. Because they don't carry a lot, they don't get good pricing on them. So, like I was going to buy silver from them, and I could buy silver at my local silver shop at 19 times face. I can buy it cheaper than that if I go through some of my other peeps out there, but anyway, 19 times face. They wanted 22 times face, I believe, which from what I'm learning from a coin shop's not bad, but when you have a silver shop in town, you don't really, I mean, if you're selling junk silver at your coin shop, you gotta be able to compete, right? I mean, just thinking out loud here. It's another 23. Oh, good. One that has no date. And I know where to get decent stuff for decent prices. So selling decent things, I can do. I mean, I could do it for less than 50. I probably could do it for, looks like another 16. I could probably do it for 20. I don't think under 20, though. I don't think that I could do it under 20 just because I need, the money to get a place to do it out of, right? A shop. And commercial property around here is not what I would consider cheap. It's not like horribly expensive, but for a decent location, you're going to be close to $2,000 a month. So that's why I say, I mean, 20,000 is that wouldn't even cover 1 year worth of rent. Of course, it would be an investment. So the as investments go, if the business fails, you'd lose your investment. So if anybody's made it along this far and wants to invest, well, you know what my email is. TempleCraze2@gmail.com. You obviously, if you're here, you obviously know that I know what I'm doing. So, and I might bring it up a couple other times, in some other streams or something, or not streams, but in some other episodes or some other YouTube videos, I should say, about possibly doing that. I could ask the guy that owns the coin shop that is a because at least it's established. Even though I think they're crooks, they do have a base of customers already. So, I mean, they do have some people that have been coming to them for years, is what I'm saying. So even though I believe they're crooks, if they would be willing to sell, at least then you have a building and a customer base. I know quite a bit about business. Too much, probably. No, you never can know too much. And the good news is I know people who have taught business, like my my wife, her ex-father-in-law. He actually taught business school. So, and I talk to him every once in a while. And then where I went to college, the business teachers there, they have no problem sharing their knowledge. I can't get a date on this. I think it's 25, but I cannot seem to pull the date. Alright, this is the last one. No mint mark. I shouldn't say it's the last one. It's the last one I have in front of me right now. I have another little baggie here somewhere that I threw somewhere. I don't know. I had gone through a couple of them in it, and there were ones that we had tried before that I couldn't get anything dates off of, and so I tried a few of them again, and I was able to retrieve a couple dates, but nothing too substantial was found. There you go. That's definitely a 1920. That's good. Yeah. Like I say, I think dipping it in the rubbing alcohol before I do it really does help. So, and the only thing I can think of, like I said, is that it's pulling the oils that are on there off of it a little bit. Alright, I'm going to clean this off before I forget. Alright, and you can watch it dry, because that's always fun. Alright, let's get rid of that. Well, there you go, peeps. That was fun. I enjoyed it. If you stayed through the whole thing, thanks for watching, everybody. If you didn't make it through it, I understand. Use the heat of the light to dry it. I mean, they're LED, but they still produce some heat. I understand if you didn't make it all the way through. It has been, I don't know, over an hour and 20 minutes, I think now. Something like that. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you got any questions or you want to see any other experiments or anything like that, drop a link down below. Let me know. And as always, have a good one.